Howdy, I'm back at home and now I'm back in my dorm. That break didn't last long, but I'm grateful either way. I wanted to make this video to just have a reminder that it's been 823 days since starting my college journey. On that fateful day, on August 25th, 2021. It's now November 26th, right after Thanksgiving. And I spent some time during this 5-day break to just, be grateful, be thankful about what I have gone through these past 2.5 years, how far I still have to go, and seeing the friends I've made along the way, seeing the experiences I've had, just taking a look around. It probably is chaotic behind me, but everything from my bowling ball to my tripod to these dog tags, making probably one of the biggest decisions of my life was to join Army ROTC my freshman year. And I'm still in it, and I'm still being pushed every day. This is my junior year. This is the hardest year for ROTC because this summer we get tested. It is our litmus test to become officers at Fort Knox, Kentucky. And so everything our cadre are doing is just building up to that moment. They're trying to discipline us, they're trying to prepare us, they're trying to teach us, they're trying to instill us, they're trying to motivate us. And I think there's nothing more symbolic than dog tags, which these ID tags have been around for 100 years or more, and are so representative of this great military that I am now a part of. And so, one of the biggest decisions of my life. In here, we see my chemistry lab notebook right behind me, how it represents my biochemistry and molecular biology major. Within it is a massive 3-week experiment on mushroom tyrosinase, an enzyme that causes pigmentation. To think I'm finally done with that lab report and all my data in here. I took my fine arts class this semester and I'm getting a new respect for acting, quite apt since what the title says. But before then, of course, we just think about actors as the people we watch in movies, but there's something unique about being able to draw yourself into a role and to be able to just completely focus and just shed aside everything else that is distracting you and the intensities of college. Of course, it's not complete without my Bible. Being a part of Chi Alpha here on campus has been just the brotherhood and sisterhood I've needed, and I feel like every college student needs to be able to be a part of that, which is larger than yourself. It's been amazing getting to lead alongside them, getting to learn how to lead through a very, very spiritual discipline, and being able to grow in my relationship with God as well. And of course, the trusty ROTC protractor, another symbol of being able to know where you are and knowing where you're going. I think within it, in these triangles, my future is not quite as clear-cut as following my compass and protractor, but to know that as long as I have this, I know where I'm going, and I know how to get there. Because again, 823 days. How much has happened in such little time? 823 days is not long. And yet, after reaching my breaking point last year as a sophomore with organic chemistry and physics and genetics and growing in my ROTC roles and now leading a small group through Chi Alpha and again throwing the javelin for the track team, I was just broken down to my base unit and I really had to push through saying, why am I here? What is motivating me? What is going to be the hardest things for me to get past? And it really was this redefining time. I feel like it was a transformation, and I love how sophomore year has played that role in my life. Sophomore year, high school was so transformative, from this scared introvert to being able to be more outspoken, to be more attentive, to be more outreaching to my peers and be able to actually be a light and be able to be motivated with a new understanding of what it means to be a student, what it means to be a disciple, what it means to be a pre-medical student. And this sophomore year, I was challenged to my limits, and I came out stronger. And this semester, I can't say it's been my most growing semester, but I finally feel like I am on top of college, that it's not suffocating me. And as my video on gratitude and stress laid out, there's these days where you just feel so suffocated by the stress of college life. Anxiety is a word thrown out so cautiously, but it is so ever present on college campuses. And I have wondered, how do you best combat it? How do you best reach out to the people who need to hear that there is something better out there for you? You do not need to stress for every exam that comes your way, because in the end, what really matters? For me, sometimes there's this fear of saying, oh, if you fail this exam, you're not getting into medical school. There goes your future plans. Now you're stuck with the military, that you don't know what you're going to do. But it's out of my control. And sophomore year helped me really refine understanding what is in my control and what is outside my control, and the gray area in between of where I need to be more disciplined. It's created this triangle, and I've been so much better as a result of it. I've finally been at peace with myself, my circumstances, everything, despite just increased stressors with ROTC and other academics, as I'm starting to build my application for medical school, as I'm starting to get letters of recommendation, as I'm starting to look over my GPA more, as I'm looking into medical schools that I want to attend, as I'm shadowing doctors. It's a time of just great questions and answers that seem to be coming up along the way. So I just want to leave with this: 823 days, that's all it takes to be a radically different person. And some will say college was nothing more than a financial burden to them, but I have learned through my experience that it has been much, much more. I've been shaped by the people around me, whether that's small group leaders, whether that's ROTC cadre, whether that's professors, whether that's community members or doctors I've shadowed, whether that's the peers who I live with, now in a room with 3 other guys that I've been blessed to call my friends. That is true. I've been so blessed. And again, what was the purpose? What is the purpose of learning with Landon? You watching this right now, I hope that I can be this light, that I can help not only make the journey easier for you if you're wanting to pursue the military or a pre-medical pathway, if you want to become a physician, but also if you just want to be a better person. If you want to improve yourself, not with some self-help mentality, but really understanding at your core root, who are you? Understanding your identity, understanding that your identity is not limited to yourself, that you need to be able to go outside of yourself, be selfless in how you live life, and that in that you will find yourself at more peace, you'll find yourself with a better, more solid identity, and that you will be able to start that path of discipline that is required for you in a life that is filled with suffering, that you can choose to look at it at a negative light or from a positive light. And there's nuance to our life. I don't have it all figured out. I used to say I was aiming wanderlessly on only attached to this career path I wanted to pursue. But as I've slowly loosened my grip, I've started to realize there is much more than the career we choose. And I'm still pursuing that career. Even as many of my peers have switched majors or found out that that's not what they want to do with their life, I've only further reignited my passion for the medical field, to be able to see this complexity of the human body and be able to really identify what is going on at still such a surface level, like the Dunning-Kruger effect shows. The more I learn about the complex enzyme reactions and catalysis and every minutia of anatomy, it only becomes so much more complex. I learn just how massive the knowledge is needed to even scratch the surface of understanding the human body. And being able to treat people holistically is amazing. And I hope that I further just find what I want to do in the medical field, what I want to do in the military with it, whether I want to go active duty or National Guard. That's right now one of the most pressing questions in my path. But as for now, I wish you the best. Happy Thanksgiving and ad meliora. Toward better things. 823, better things.